Hello everybody, I'm glad you could join me today. For today's scene, I will be using a variety of pencils from HB to 7B, a smudging tool, an eraser, and maybe this smaller eraser today, I don't know, let's see. And I've prepared something else. I just scraped off some lead of an 8B. I scraped the lead of an 8B lead. Yes, that's it. Twice the word lead. But that's what I did, and I hope it will help me draw the foliage on a tree today. I was really not satisfied with how the trees came out the last time, so I want to experiment with that, try something out. I'm not expecting it to be perfect in the end, but I just want to see and learn and try something different, because that's how we advance. So without further ado, let's go into it by drawing our frame. I'll draw a rather low frame today, horizon line in the lower fourth roundabout. And I thought as a motif it would be interesting to have a tree right here, maybe like so. That's standing right here in the midground. And then, oh right, you can't see this. Let's make it more visible. Maybe right there. And then in the foreground, I want to have this flower that is so close to me that that it appears to be as high as this tree. Like this. And there's going to be bits coming out like that, going toward the flower itself, toward the bud. So let's get started with that. What am I doing? Putting away the HB pencil when I need it for the sky. As we do, I draw horizontal lines, dark at the top of the drawing and lighter as I approach the horizon. Maybe with a little bit of space in between the lines. And also reducing the pressure on the pencil so that the lines get lighter. Nice and dark up here. Since I'm using the HB pencil, it's not going to get too dark. I'll still be able to have a good contrast to the foreground using the darker pencils. So that's it for the sky. Almost. Taking the smudging tool, I do just the same motion. Horizontal lines, horizontal movement, right to left, left to right. Getting rid of the lines, getting rid of the structure in the sky. Once more, from the top to the bottom. I'm really applying a lot of pressure, so my piece of paper is moving around. I'll try to hold it. I'd normally hold it with my left hand, of course, so I can draw with my right hand, but then I would cover the page, cover the view, and you wouldn't be able to see anything. So I'm switching hands. This very basic movement I can do with my left hand as well. All right. So for the sake of depth, I will have a cloud close to the horizon. Actually, I want to have it flat at the bottom, like this, and then circular motions at the top. Maybe a little higher over here. Maybe those are two clouds overlapping. You're going to see in a moment what I mean when I apply the shadows. Where do I put this residue? Just over there. And wipe off the rest of it. Okay, the HB pencil again for the shadow in the cloud. Down there, this time I'm not making U-shapes, just flat lines, because the cloud is very close to the horizon, and so the bottom appears just flat. Okay. And then, say the light comes from the top left, then I'll have shadows also at the right side of the clouds. So for every circular volume that I made with the eraser, I make C shapes also within the cloud coming from the bottom. And now, so this is the right edge of the cloud that is in the very back, and now this greater one here is in the front of it, so I will also have shadows right here. This is the edge of the cloud that is closer to us, and there you have it. Out of this one area that I erased from my piece of paper, I created two clouds by using the shadow. And here I kind of want to do a similar thing where this part is further in the background than this part. So I create this shadow right here that sets those areas of the cloud apart. Some more C shapes, not too many. I want the clouds to be rather light and bright. Okay, so that's it for those clouds. Then I'll go into the land right below the horizon. Just giving it a value, just something to set it apart from the sky. It's rather darker than the sky. Just like so. I'm trying to keep it as horizontal and as straight as possible. There's not a lot of elevation going on in this drawing, so the horizon is flat. Okay, just some lines going to the midground. Alright. Now I'll take the 3B pencil and just make some more lines in here, just to create the illusion of something going on back there in the background. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I want the tree and the flower to be the focus of this drawing. So the more detail I put in the ground here, the more it is going to distract the viewer from what I want their attention to be on. So just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, over here and over there. And that shall be it already. Okay. Now for the next part, I'm going to just indicate the tree trunk right here. And after I'm done with this, right, I draw a couple of branches one's going there and crossing to over here. One right there, very much in the foreground, so it's going up and down like this, makes it look really nice and three-dimensional coming towards the observer. It's important to not just have branches that go from the trunk to the outside, from the trunk to the outside, trunk to outside, but also have branches stopping in the middle, just like this maybe, or if it goes out a little further, like that. See, this stops in the middle between the trunk and the outside of the tree. That gives it the impression of being a three-dimensional object. But also, of course, you have the branches that reach right to the outside. Just like that and like that. And as always, make sure to make the branches overlap. That is also giving the tree a sense of being three-dimensional. Another branch over there. And that is already way too much, I think, but I went off on a tangent there and just kept drawing branches, so that's what it is now. Nothing bad about it. So now, yes, now this graphite comes into play. I'll just put it on the tip of my finger like this, and oh, that's a lot. I think this is going to be very dark, but I'll just try this out right now. Okay, so right here I'm going to have an area, one of those bulges I always talk about, and I want to indicate each bump, each bulge of the tree with one of those, with a, I don't know what this is, a quarter or third of a circle, just with my finger here and there. Maybe not just indicate the outline, but the entire volume of the bulge. Maybe like this. And right here. And I want to leave some spaces between where it looks like you can see through the foliage of the tree. Up here, let's go. This covers the entirety of the branches that I drew. I can't even make them out anymore. But we'll see how I'm going to pull this off. Okay, maybe a little more right here in the middle. All right. I'm just quickly going to knock the rest of the graphite off. Also, maybe push it off very lightly. It smudges. It's not optimal. Maybe blow it off. Yes, that's working. Okay, now I have to deal with this finger, otherwise, excuse me, otherwise I'll get the whole painting messy. So I didn't plan for this. I've got to improve a little bit. I just take this bit of paper where I put the graphite on. I'll just wipe my finger on it, and this sort of works. Making sure to wipe every area of my fingertip where there was graphite, and it's, well, not optimal, of course, but it's rather clean now. Okay, just have to make sure that I don't touch the paper with the back of my finger, because this is, well, let's try and get this off a little bit as well. But this that's really dirty from trying to push the graphite off. Okay, well, not the best. But I just got to work with this now. Whatever happens, happens. You know what it is. We've got the Bob Ross attitude here. So let's continue. The next thing I want to do is draw the tree trunk. So we said the light comes from the top left, so the right part of this tree is going to be dark. Using the 7B pencil, I just make this part darker. And going up and down in a zigzag way, I already give it a structure. Okay. Let's go right into this bit of foliage there. Okay. Now I want the branches to be seen in between those bits. So I try to recognize where I drew the branches. Right there and right there. This one over here bending down. This one's pretty easy to see. This right here goes right out to there. And then there's one crossing to here. Okay. That should be enough. Now I think since I made those spots with the 8B lead, I still have to use the 7B pencil to create the structure at the bottom right of those volumes I created. I chain my M shapes together, or down there it's more like U shapes. To create the structure in the foliage. Okay, right here as well. I like the effect of the dark areas that I made with my fingertip, but I still don't like those structures that I'm giving. But I'm just gonna pull through, go through with it. And just as I said yesterday, when I'm done with the entire area on my piece of paper, I'm going to have a look at it again, and maybe it's going to look complete and therefore look more like I wanted it to look. Just a little bit lighter right here. A little bit of Felix. Felix lighter is what I want to say. For those of you who watched the James Bond installments with Daniel Craig. Up here, down there, over here, right here. All the right parts of those dark areas I created. Alright, yeah, maybe it's something, I don't know. Okay, some individual leaves poking out. Okay, and now I will finally use the finer eraser, and in the light parts, the light areas, I'm going to create some even lighter areas. And mostly I have to focus on the top left parts of the dark volumes, since those are the parts where the light touches the tree. And I'm getting this eraser very dirty very quickly with this dark lead that's on the paper, so I have to clean the eraser. I'm going to have to clean it very often, I guess. Maybe here, maybe right there, over here maybe. Just all those upper parts, right there, right here, over here, cleaning it again, just making lines on this piece of paper that I have here, just pretending I'm erasing nothing. That gets rid of the dark areas on the eraser. Okay. Also just using kind of circular motions. I don't think I can get this effect any better with this. Maybe I can make it more visible over here. But the more I go over a certain part, the more the erased area just loses its character. So I think that's going to be it for this technique. Gotta get rid of the residue. Okay. Now the next thing is going to be the ground right here. I'm using the 3B pencil, making the ground a little bit darker than it was in the background. Join it up over here, over there. Okay. And have some bumps and structure in the ground. Something for the tree to stand on right there. And some more stuff over here. Maybe some plants right there, whatever. Just right here. Something over here. Something right there. And right there as well. Right here. Down there. Maybe over here. And over there. Okay. That's it for the ground. As I said, not too much detail there. Okay, now I have to make a bright line right here for the stem of this flower. All right. And then using the 7B pencil, I make the right side of it dark. And with the HB pencil, I extend the dark part a little bit to the left, but I don't want to get rid of all the entire light part, since the light part of the stem is separating it from the rest of the drawing. Just like this. just a little bit darker into the middle of the stem. Okay, that's enough, I guess. And now the top part of the flower is going to be white. So it's going to be very bright. That means I have to get rid of this part of the sky. Also, I want this to overlap to make sure that it is, to communicate that the flower is in the very foreground and it's not a huge flower that is as tall as the tree, but it's just closer to us, to the observer. Maybe let's, yeah, I want to make it really clear that they overlap, so I'll go right into that tree. Not just a little bit, but maybe like this. So that it's definitely visible that they overlap. Okay. Creating some white area over there and just making it all more or less white. It's going to be a messy structure right here, so it doesn't have to be completely white, but more or less white. Okay. Now, there are going to be several volumes in this. The bud is separated into several smaller buds, if you want so. So one's going to be over here, just this oval shape. That's the one in the front, the closest to us. And then we have some more here. And right at the side. And going down and back to the parts that are further away from us. We see the lower parts of some other areas down here. Alright, so I need to extend the stem. It goes, let's take the 3B pencil, goes right here to the foremost part of the bud, goes right there, goes right there. Every subdivision of the bud is connected to the stem. There, okay. That should be enough. And now I'm going into the bud itself. At the bottom it's going to be darker, and there are very, very small petals in here that I just indicate, as always, with the U shapes, but maybe I should already give the lower part just a little darker value. Let's do this for everyone. This one right there. This one over here. The one to the very left. The one behind it. And the one behind that one. And behind that one. Over here. Right there. This one here. And this one to the right. Okay. Now maybe I should use the 3B pencil for the structure down here. Yeah, I think you can barely see this with the low quality of my camera, but as long as it's visible to you the way I fill this page, that's good enough for now. I want to focus on creating the content, doing the thing itself. I'd rather be streaming with a bad quality than not streaming and just buying equipment. Someday I will maybe progress with my equipment. But for now, this is what I'm doing and this is what I have. So I just go with it. And yes, I think you can see what I'm doing here. Just making those petals poke out. In the lower area of this flower. And of course, we see it from below. So therefore I'm making U shapes. Otherwise it would be M's. If we saw the flower from above. Okay. We're on the home stretch for the drawing now. Just gotta complete this flower. Again, this is where we have to be patient and just do the same thing over and over for this entire area for the flower. Maybe halfway done by now. Maybe halfway done. Just continue. Just go with it. Okay. Right here, right there. Working my way up towards the brighter areas. Now down here. Right there, right there. More than halfway done already. It's coming together. We just gotta be patient and put in the work. If we don't finish anything, we can't expect any results. Just with anything in life. Just pull through, go to the end, and then see what happens. Can't expect anything to happen by itself. Okay, darker areas done. Now I'll take the HB pencil again and just indicate a little bit more of those petals in the very bright areas on top. Okay, I think by now you know what I'm doing, and I'm seeing on my screen that you can't really see those lines that I'm making right now, so I'll just finish this up a little bit more here, just the same as in the dark areas, just a couple of U shapes chained together. At the side, they convert into C shapes. Just as here. And over here as well. Alright, the last thing I want to do is take the 7B pencil again and then create more subdivisions for those areas right here. Just a couple more lines. Connecting the stems with the petals. I need one more over here. Make it go right there. So that it doesn't look like the petals are floating. They're connected to the stem. Right here. And over there. Just a couple. Okay. Now let's clean up the edges as always. Not a perfect edge down there. But that's the beauty of it. All right. Let's sign this and call it a day. Thank you for joining me again. I hope you learned something. I hope you could maybe be productive while I was productive. Maybe it was just relaxing for you to watch. Just some ASMR type content for you. Whatever you want to use it for, you can use it for. If you find yourself returning to the channel, please consider subscribing, giving the stream a like. You know the drill. You're probably not the first day on YouTube. It helps putting the content out there with the algorithm. So, thank you again. I will see you again tomorrow at the same time. And bye-bye.